I think it has been a pretty long while since the last time we discussed about the HP inflation, and I think it's a pretty good time to revisit it. And as you could have guessed from my title, we are having the easiest deadly assault ever in the past 6 months. And as you can see, the graph indicate that the amounts of score that could achieve by 50% of the player. So what does this graph mean? The higher up the number, the easier it is, because it means that there are more than 50% of the player base that could get more than the score that I listed here. So let's say 77k here. It means over 50% of the player could get this number. So that is pretty goddamn high. And it is like 5 months ago. This is the first time when Captain 7 and ALG talks about it. But they somehow tune the difficulties and makes it much easier on the next patch, which is 71k. And it was the easiest deadly assault for a pretty long while. But when we get to the pre-Ye Shunguang patches, I also made a video cover about this. The 45% mean only 45% of player could get 60k. It is the worst we ever got. And it's actually a shame for Saint Tontus to not even cover about this. I mean, like, man, if he has the number that I got, he would make shit tons of videos about it. Resi also talks about it as well. And right now we are at here. Ladies and gentlemen, we are at the healthiest state of the game Zenless Zone Zero. Even healthier than Brian Johnson. May the goon live longer than 99% of humanity. And by the way, Piper is 47 and her body is like, maybe less than 18. So I've been thinking a while, like, what makes gacha game fun and makes it different from any other kinds of game. Like, you see, when you're playing other game, it's gonna get categorized by this is FPS game, this is MMORPG, this Soul-like game. But when it comes to gacha game, it doesn't matter if you're playing turn-based or you're playing live action, but it's almost irrelevant what kinds of gameplay this gacha game has. People will still call it a gacha game. What is it that makes it so distinctive to any other kinds of game? And I think I got a crystal clear answer here. And it's not gambling addiction. And it is not collecting dozens of waifu and husbando. It is the variety of the character. If you're playing like MMORPG, like the Path of Exile, despite all the flexibility in the skill system that allow you to use the skill from different kinds of class, you are still bound to play only one character at a time. There's no quick swapping between the character. And when it comes to PvP game, whether it's fighting game, MOBA, or FPS game, they may got more than 50-60 character for you to pick, but you can only play one at a time. But in gacha game, you are playing 3 to 4 characters simultaneously. When you're playing any other game, you don't get to see characters swapping in and out during the combat, like what we already used to for years. We got so used to it that we forget like why it's so fun in the first place. Like in gacha game, you got a team of 3 or 4, and you got a roster with over 20 different characters with different kinds of skills or even element. And it could goes up to like 60-70 character, depends on how old is the game. And the possibility of the team comp is just absolutely tremendous. You get to test different kinds of team comp, you get to test different kinds of rotation, you swap one character out of the team and replace with another, your rotation change. And it's not only just about the rotation and the team comp. Sometimes you gotta change your setup or your gear when you play the same character on different team. Like let's say Raiden Shogun in the Genshin Impact. When you're playing Hyper Bloom, she gonna use a more supportive gear. And instead of stacking crit rate, crit damage, like when you're playing her as a DPS, you're gonna stack Elemental Mastery instead. The build is totally different when she's on different team. And for Zenless Zone Zero, Yanagi is a good example of that. Her most optimized set is highly determined by her team and the weakness of the boss. There's no one set fit all types of this when you're playing Yanagi. I think Nicole is also a really good example. While fundamentally, Nicole's kits are rather simple, but she required you to swap her in and out frequently, cause her debuff is so short, yet so effective. And when you put her on different team, she feels totally different. Playing her on the Anomaly team feels completely different to the Hyper Carry Stunner team. While on Stunner team, you only need to worry about proxying the debuff during the stun window, but when it comes to Anomaly team, you have to gauge all the Anomaly for all of them to trigger during the stun window. And when you could align everything perfectly, that sense of satisfactory is just undescribable. It feels so good. It is the kinds of complexity and the challenge that makes the game fun. But of course, not only just about the technical aspect of the game, but also being able to mess around with different kinds of non-meta team, that is also very fun too. I still remember one of the time when I'm doing the account review, there's one of the account that came to my live stream. It is a relatively new account and struggled to get 6 star in the Daily Assault. And when I figure out the way to get the 6 star with this account, by just trying out different kinds of team, different kinds of rotation, the 6 star that I got from this account made me way more happier than getting the 9 star on my own account. And the problem happened when the game is getting too difficult. It kinda takes away some of the magical moment that you could have with the game only when you are messing around. You are more likely to cater yourself toward the meta team, sticking with one particular playstyle, and eventually, this will systematically narrow down their playstyle across the board. And by taking away the option, it gonna makes the game less fun. I saw the difficulties of the game Zenless Zone Zero was fine, because I was asking the wrong question. Instead of asking, to what extent of difficulties is reasonable, now I ask, how easy it has to be to allow enough variety of team for the player to mess around and have fun. Because most of the player ain't coming in to beat the score, they're coming in to have fun. And I think the Deadly Assault of this current patch fit this criteria better than ever. Let me know which non-meta team that you enjoy the most. I hope you enjoyed the game. Don't forget to like and sub, and see ya guys.